It was probably around 8 years ago now when we first launched the humble citrus pop-up, and that's all it was back then. And it was the amalgamation of two incredible bait gurus, Gary Bays and Keith Sykes. They came together and worked on it. At the time, it involved 22 different additives, stimulants, attractors, flavours, and it was certainly way above my head. But it did change my fishing. And I say that because up until that point, I was like a headless chicken. Every weekend I'd use a different bait. Within a session, I'd be chopping and changing between baits. And for the bulk of the time, I would blame my poor angling on the bait. The citrus changed that for me. It meant I no longer had to take with me tutti frutti and amber strawberry and some peach and some pineapples and constantly not really know which one to use in which situation, because I'd been reassured by Gary and by Keith, and most importantly, a good couple of years worth of catch reports that were flooding across my emails of just how effective this new citrus was. I can look back on this period and say there's been no other bait I've ever used, no other flavour that's caught me more fish than citrus, which is quite ironic really when the bulk of the time I've used it in the winter months. That was kind of what it was developed as originally. Of course, it progressed and evolved. It went from the humble white pop-up to bottom baits. People, yes, were getting bites on just a single hook bait, but wanted that opportunity to feed a few freebies around the hook bait. And from there, we introduced fizz stick mix, the pink variation, plume juices, and as the years wore on, the range did get a little bit bigger. But it was always nothing more really than something to take out in the cold when the bites were very, very hard to come by. You could chuck a citrus out there and you stood a really, really good chance of getting the bite. Until the European ladies and gents really started to use it. And they changed my perception, the perception of everyone in the bait factory and all of us at Nash Tackle really, through the sheer demand for bigger bag sizes. They wanted 2.5 kilos, they wanted 5 kilos, we want to buy in 10 kilo bags because they were filling it in and having mental results. So even though it was originally developed as a high attract single hook bait, people were catching not only over quantity of it, but right through the seasons, which I suppose kind of takes us up to now. We've relaunched it to a degree. The attractive flavour package, it hasn't changed. It actually hasn't changed, apart from the addition of a really nice toffee palatin. The base mix has changed though, for the better. Max and the team at the Bait Factory have worked really hard to introduce lots of new bird foods, make it much smoother, much more rounded, and just something that for sure works absolutely fantastic all year round on big lakes, rivers, canals, commercial high stock venues. The field testing of this new variation has been outstanding. So from the humble pot of pop-ups right up to 2024 and a brand new broad range that will allow anglers right across Europe in any situation and eventuality be able to fish over big beds of bait or still that single hook bait lure approach. Yep, citrus has got you covered. I can't wait to my season ahead. I'm not just going to be using it in the colder months, I'm going to be using it right the year round, and I'm looking forward to experiencing some great results on it.